Hello, flirties, and welcome to this fall flashback episode of Flirtations. We're going all the way back as if it was so long ago, but it kind of was. September 22nd, 2024 is the day this episode originally debuted with Torah Cents, the topic dating deliciously, how to bring more fun, pleasure, and desire into your dating lives, whether you're dating in person, online, both, taking a break, but looking to get back into dating. This episode is for you. Stick around. Torah has some amazing dating strategies you don't want to miss. As always, thank you so much for being here, for being a part of these conversations, a part of these episodes. I so appreciate your support, your downloads, your listens, your streams, your comments, your reviews, your shares, all the things. Thank you so much, flirties, for being here. Now let's get into the full conversation with Torah Cents.
I heard you wanted to flirt. I heard you wanted to flirt. I heard you wanted to flirt. Hello, my name is Benjamin. I'm the flirt coach and a gay Libra. Everyone has an inner flirt.
Hey, flirty.
Live, laugh, flirt.
Work the flirt.
Work the flirt. Delulu is the Salulu. Expert on the flirt.
Hey, flirty. There's always another flirt.
Everyone has an inner flirt. Get out of your head and into the flirt.
Flirties, today on the show, we're going to be dating deliciously, talking about how to make connections in real life, have engaging conversations, and dating strategy from first date beyond. With Torah Cents, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for inviting me. I'm so happy to be here.
I am thrilled as well. I've been following you on Instagram for a little while, listening to your podcast, and I need to have a fangirl moment, to be honest. I love what you talk about. I know.
Oh my goodness. I'm honored. I had no idea.
I really, really like it. I'm so glad to do this episode with you. I've learned a lot from you as well. But first things first, here at the top of the show, please tell a little bit more or share a little bit more about yourself with the flirties.
Yes. What's up, flirties? My name is Torah Cents, and I am a dating coach specifically for high-achieving, unchurched women of faith. If you're unfamiliar with the terminology, unchurched just means a woman who comes from a specific religious background, who has a particular faith, but she has divested from all the harmful, misogynistic, oppressive traditions that come along with it. And so I help these women do what I call date deliciously. And dating deliciously just means dating with a purpose and for lots of pleasure.
So good. And here at the top, I want to hear a little bit more about the dating deliciously approach.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm already like feeling it all in my body every time I hear it.
It's so good.
Yeah. So dating deliciously. So a lot of people, when they're looking for something serious while they're dating, they're like, oh, I'm dating with a purpose. So I need to be focused on finding my husband and asking all the right questions and doing all the right things. But then it leaves them really drained and overwhelmed and really frustrated and burned out, and they want to quit. Yeah. And it's because they have left out the element of pleasure. They think that you cannot have fun and have enjoyment while dating if you're dating for a purpose. And so dating deliciously is all about integrating all of that pleasure, even if he's not a match. How can you make this date pleasurable? Even if he's not in alignment, how can you make this conversation pleasurable? How can you make all the interactions that you have with men very pleasing, very exciting, that feel really good in your body? So that's pretty much what that means.
I love it. And I definitely get that from your content too. Because as we're recording this, I looked at your stories, and I think this past weekend you had 3 dates.
Oh yeah.
Did I see that?
Yeah, I did.
So, I love it. So I want to hear from your perspective, because I'm sure you work with clients and myself too. Like they definitely date from this place of just putting so much pressure on the dating process, seeming to move through it without that fun, without that spontaneity, without some of that excitement and that pleasure. And so yeah, I want to hear a little bit more about maybe some of the challenges that present themselves and how people can, 3 days, yeah, and have fun with it, experience the pleasure.
I think one of the biggest challenges that we have when it comes to integrating pleasure is, I will call this the objectification of the opposite sex. So whoever, I'm sure your flirties are like male and female.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this objectification, not necessarily for sex, right?
Yeah.
But for a relationship. It's the same way we think about being objectified for sex. It's like, oh, well, I don't want to speak to that person, or like how women feel about men objectifying them. I don't want a man that just only wants to date me to get in my pants or to have sex with me. Well, people who are looking for relationships typically objectify the opposite sex to say, I don't really want to talk to this person unless they can be my person, unless they can be in a relationship with me, unless we can be together. They're boyfriend material, girlfriend material. However,
yeah.
And so that's one of the biggest obstacles, because it's kind of hard to find pleasure if you don't value a human being, if you do not think human beings are interesting or enjoyable outside of a label of a relationship. So that's one of the biggest obstacles. You can't really have fun if you don't value humans.
That's a really, really good point, and something I'm seeing some parallels now between what you were just sharing and how I talk about the flirt a lot of times, and that it's really about the connection. And so often we come into the flirt with this objectification mindset. We see someone as like, oh, they caught my eye. I want to flirt with them because they're hot. I think they're cute. They're pretty or handsome or whatever. Fill in the adjective here. Well, then all of a sudden now you're flirting with this very specific intention of probably trying to get this other person to like you back.
Ooh.
And then the connection in many ways is absent because the flirt is engineered. It is designed to express interest in a very specific way. And if that interest is not received back and shared back in the way that you want it to be, then it's a failure. And now you're like, oh my God, like you're rejecting yourself. Now you're losing some confidence. And yeah.
That's so good. So good. Because it's true. We lose our authenticity when we are seeking for someone to like us versus, like you say, just establishing a clear connection there.
Yeah. Yeah. The connection piece is so important. And so, all right, let's get into a little bit of strategy now. So I want to spend some time talking about how to start cultivating these connections, dating deliciously, experiencing the fun and pleasure, whether you're meeting people in real life or on the dating apps online, because you have such good tips for meeting people online as well. So I want to talk about first, I think, meeting people in real life, some of the challenges, but also opportunities. Like how can we have these meet cute moments that may not lead to dates or long-term romantic connections, but just catch a flirt, make a connection, share a conversation? Yeah, how can we do that?
Yeah, so I have this concept, a framework that I teach my clients called the triple P framework.
Yeah.
And so it's whatever room you walk into, whatever area you step your foot into, there needs to be presence, you being in the present moment, and pleasure being integrated, even with yourself. So when you step into a room, you have to ask yourself, do I have presence? Meaning, are people locking eyes with me? Are people are people noticing that I'm actually in a room? Am I taking up space? Are there people that are led to wave at me, right? So do I have presence? That means you're taking up space. The second is, am I in the present moment? Do I feel my five senses? Do I have the smell? Am I smelling what's around me? Am I feeling on my skin what's around me? Am I seeing what's around me? Because a lot of us are in our heads. We're like thinking, what are people thinking of me? Well, what's happening? What do I need to do? And we're not in our bodies. We're not deeply connecting to our bodies and being in the present moment and seeing. That's the only way you're going to actually take advantage of all these opportunities is to be in your body and be present. Well, either in the future or in the past. And then the third thing is pleasure. How can you please yourself with the surroundings, what is happening around you, whether it's little children smiling and you smiling back at them, or whether there is someone that is walking past you coming from the bathroom and you lock eyes and you wave, whatever it is, whether that's the food that you're eating and you decide that you're just going to have a moment with that piece of cake and let that cake sit on your tongue and hold it in your mouth and close your eyes. All of that is a part of magnetizing people towards you to want to connect that leads to flirting.
The triple P's. That is such a good framework. I think that's going to be really, really helpful for the flirties. And I know it's going to be helpful for me too. Because one thing I'll see in the flirt is you may have the tendency to perceive yourself how you think someone else sees you or how you want to be seen. And so now you're coming out of certainly presence in the ways you described. I think the pleasure is really taken out of the equation, as well as now you're trying to show up as how you think you should, how you want to act, how you want to be seen. And it takes away the authenticity piece, makes the connection piece really, really hard. And of course, then you're so going to be in your head trying to think your way through this process.
Yeah.
It makes it really challenging.
Absolutely. You leave the present moment, you miss the opportunities.
Yeah. And speaking of opportunities, so does this triple P framework transfer to online as well in the dating apps?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. It translates because when people go online, they're not in the present moment. They're thinking, who can be my person?
Yeah.
Who can be my person?
Yes.
And they're in the future of who these people can be. They're in the past of thinking, oh, last time I got on this app, I matched with so many dudes and they were only looking for sex. Like that is what happened on the app. So they're not present. Yep. They also don't have presence because of what they believe in their brains. They're like, well, nothing has really worked for me online. I'm just going to see what happens. And they don't really take up space. It's like they just throw up a little bit of words, maybe something vague, maybe some pictures they found in their phone, but they're not taking up really big space. It's kind of like, I'm here, but I'm not here, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And then with the pleasure, when someone lands on your profile, it needs to feel like a playful interaction of invitation, consistent invitations of, yes, I would like to hang out with you. Yes, come play with me. Yes, this is what it would look like if we were to play together and hang out together. And just letting people into your simple pleasures of your everyday life from your profile that they would want to be a part of, that they would want to invest in, that they would be able to see. Like, for example, on my Hinge profile, I have a voice note where I'm literally just breaking down me enjoying a cup of coffee. I'm just breaking down how I'm enjoying it and how I'm looking out of the window and the steam that's coming out of it. It's one simple pleasure that creates pleasure in the body when you hear me talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, as I'm sitting here, sipping my cup of coffee while we're recording too. And I'm like, that would be such a good voice prompt because it really brings someone into how you're experiencing this very simple thing of a cup of coffee that maybe you just are like drinking in your car, you're walking to work or whatever, listening to music kind of in your head, thinking about the day. And then now you're bringing someone into this experience of what is actual pleasure. Okay, so if you could walk the flirties through one example from maybe this past weekend of going on one of these dates and how you brought the 3 Ps to life.
Oh my goodness. Okay. One of my dates, as soon as he got out of his Uber, like he pulled up, he jumped out of the Uber. Like we were meeting at like a wine spot and I hop out of the darkness and I just started singing Whitney Houston. I'm like, and I will always love. He looks, the Uber driver looks and they're just staring. He's like, oh my gosh, you're crazy. And I love it.
And Pipes, I've heard you sing on your podcast as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So I'm singing to him. And so there's presence there. I'm in the present moment. I'm not overthinking, will he think I'm crazy? I mean, he did think I was crazy, but he liked the crazy. And it was pleasurable for the both of us. And I just walked up to him and gave him a huge hug, not thinking, is he going to think I'm thirsty? Is he going to think I'm desperate for like doing this? I didn't care. That's what I desired. And so that was one instance. Or when one of the first dates that I had, and I walked in and he was sitting beside me, and I'm like, why are you over there so far? You're so far away. Can I come sit next to you? Can I hold your hand? And again, taking up space. I'm in the present moment, using all my 5 senses, and then I'm creating pleasure in the moment. Yeah.
I love that. It's all right. I want to ask now some of the maybe one strategy, because I got some questions here from Flirtstagram, and one of the things that I'm getting from your Triple P framework here is about saying yes, right? Like you got to say yes to give yourself at least the opportunity to experience these 3 Ps and really put them into practice. So for the flirty listening, and this has been me in the past, where let's just say you're on the apps or even in person, and you're swiping not in the right direction on everybody, right? Nope. Or you're in person, you're like, nope. You're disqualifying everybody. You're finding every reason to not approach, to not flirt, to not connect. How can you, if it's coming from a place of anxiety or lacking confidence, how can you start to say yes to yourself ultimately?
Oh, you say yes to everyone. You say yes to women. You say yes to children, babies. You say yes to the janitor. You say yes to the dishwasher. You just say yes to even the guy that you're just not even remotely attracted to. People like to turn connection on and off. Connection is a lifestyle, right? There might be times when you're like, hey, I don't want to talk to people because I'm heavily introverted. So although I love people, there are times when I just need to really disconnect.
Yes, same.
But connection is a lifestyle. And we have decided that anytime I go out, I'm looking to say yes to somebody, to connect to. It's what I call like contributing to the universe. It's my contribution. And as I talk to women of faith, I talk about the scripture of reaping what you sow. And so if you are going to sow cucumber seeds, squash seeds, you're going to get the harvest of squash and cucumbers. So if I'm sowing smiles, if I'm sowing giggles, if I'm sowing warmth and comfort and being inviting, I'm going to reap a harvest of that, because those are the seeds that I'm sowing. So I say yes to it all. And if people think that because you are open and connected, something has to happen.
Yeah.
But that's where boundaries come in. I call them lover girl limits. That's where boundaries come in. If I'm open and I'm inviting, and yet you're approaching me and I'm not really interested in a romantic connection, then my lover girl limit would pop in and say, hey, I really enjoy you, but I'm unavailable to pursue anything romantic, but we can sit and giggle and chat. I just don't have that aspect of things for you. Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought up the lover girl limits here, because I get this question a lot too. It's like, well, maybe I do want to connect or flirt. I want to contribute, but I don't want to lead someone on. Or, now I'm starting to feel anxious. What if this person wants something from me? And it's like you get to take up space, have presence, be in the present moment, of course, connect. And part of it, I think, is releasing how you, like focusing on that connection piece. And like the other person may take it in a different way, or, maybe if you're like really flirting with a lot of physical compliments or something like that, like having some awareness with how your flirt may be received. But I still, hope you feel empowered and just comfortable to connect. Yeah.
As long as you have those lover girl limits, those boundaries, whatever you want to call them, you can stay completely open and just make the decision that you're not going to pursue anything.
Yeah. So true. I want to ask now because I got this question a couple times, and so let's set the scene. Let's say you're at a party, an event. It could be a networking opportunity. You're out with friends, whatever, a wedding, something's happening in real life. Because I get this question from the lady flirties, like, can I make the approach, or does the guy need to approach me? What do you think?
Yeah, it all goes back to objectification because we don't think this about women. We don't think
Yeah.
like, if I approach her, would that be thirsty? Would that be a problem? Would that be an issue?
Mm-hmm.
We don't objectify men, even if we think that they are attractive, we treat them like human beings.
Yeah.
And if they are human beings, then there's nothing wrong with going and making a connection. And it doesn't have to be about landing a relationship, landing a date, landing a phone call. I think that you're an interesting person just in general, and I want to get to know you. So therefore, I'm going to walk up to you and ask you a question or share a compliment or ask you how you're doing. And I'm not going to make it mean anything because I'm not attached to an outcome. I'm always in the present moment.
Yeah.
Therefore, I can't be attached to an outcome, if that makes sense.
Yep, absolutely. 100% makes sense. And I want to, so how do you think looks factor into this, or do they? Because I got a couple questions about where it's if you're not feeling confident about the way you look. And I know this is the gay guys listening to this episode, the gay flirties out there that are dating the men's are like, Benjamin, it's about how hot you are. Like it's about the objectification. I know, like they're stuck on this. It's I think it this is a part of dating, no matter who you're dating or how you identify. But I really want to spend just one more moment on here because I love how you're breaking down objectification here.
Yeah, and we're not going to be dense and act like there isn't a Western standard of beauty that's propped up. Yeah. But we're also not going to act like everybody doesn't have an opportunity to connect with their people.
Yeah.
There's two different things here. Yeah. Especially considering I have clients that fit the standard of beauty but are not connecting with the types of men that they want. And they are being bombarded, but it's not their people, right? And then I have women who don't typically fit the standard of beauty. Maybe they're plus size. And in my community, dark skin is not something that is, heavily desired upon, maybe not even natural hair. And so there's lots of concerns around having those types of aesthetics. If you have like a wide nose or whatever, those aesthetics, if you live in LA and you're a Black woman, that's a big thing for women who don't fit like the aesthetic. Okay. But they're still able to date deliciously and meet their people. The key that you have to remember is that when you are deeply connected, just in general, that you're always going to be able to reap the benefits of what you sow. Yeah. You are always going to reap the benefits of your contributions, your warmth, your smile. But if you're investing fear, if you're sowing anxiety, if you are sowing worry, that's going to be reflected back to you because that is your contribution to the universe. Yeah. So we can start taking brave actions. It may not happen overnight. So one thing I start my clients with is very small, tiny, we'll call it exposure therapy. Okay. Of where they need to perform just small, brave acts where they affirm their ability to connect with the types of men that they want to connect with. And then the evidence provides some confirmation when they see, oh my gosh, like this man I'm actually attracted to, and I don't even look like I think I should be looking, and he asked for my number. But it starts with you deciding that I'm going to sow something different into the universe to get that reflected back to me. Yeah.
So good. Really pairing mindset and some of that internal work, knowing, these changes, especially if these are stories that we've, really internalized into beliefs and they become a part of how we operate and live our life. I've had to overcome a lot of just anxieties and insecurities, making connections and flirting and dating. And so I love how you're breaking it down and then saying, yes, to everyone, like knowing your love a girl limits too. But like that's one of the things that's helped me so much is it's no longer about, you see someone that like, oh, they're cute, they're hot, like that's intimately ultimately where your mind is going right there then and there. And it's so then the flirt is very like it's you've narrowed the flirt down into this very specific area. And if the other person now may have to flirt back in the same way because you've made it all about, oh, I think this person is attractive, versus saying yes and talking to as many people as you would like, doesn't have to have the romantic intent there at all. It opens up so many doors and opportunities. You can learn so much about yourself. You can make connections in ways you never thought possible. And you never know. One of those connections could lead to, hey, my friend is single. Hey, my brother, my sister is, they're dating. Are you available?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I love how you talk about flirting and connection.
That is my thing. I know that is my mission. It is why I'm here. I'm very purpose driven in that way. It is just to help people bring connection into their life in all aspects. The connections are going to make flirting and dating, whether that's platonically, romantically. Our relationships are so important. And also developing the connection they have with themselves, right? Like the relationship you have with yourself, this is the longest one you will have. It is the one you'll have for a lifetime. And I've gone through long periods of my life of feeling disconnected from who I am, not knowing who I am, what I want, what am I doing, why am I here, how do I even like to connect? I don't even, should I date? I don't know. Yeah.
You're the first person that I've seen speak about flirting in the way that you do, with a lot of depth and sophistication for what it truly is supposed to do. I think what we know it is, I think that's a bastardized version. Yeah. I love how you speak about it. And it's I believe it's the true form of what flirtation actually is.
Yeah. My gosh, Torah, thank you so much for that encouragement and support. Yeah, it's so, I love it. And I love to sort of open up the conversation about what flirting actually is and what it means and how it can serve us in our everyday life. It's a beautiful thing to me. So I love talking about the flirt. And speaking of flirting, this ties in perfectly. So to my next question, and one thing I love so much about your content is how to have just really engaging conversations of depth. So instead of asking, what do you do for work, right? We're taking it to that next level. We're in this place of play and pleasure. So I think we're making some of those connections now in person, online. All right. We're in the DMs maybe. How can we now start to have those conversations that are fun, pleasurable? Yeah, some conversation tips.
Oh, yeah. Two things, curiosity and desire. So most of the times when we are starting conversations with people, there's an agenda attached because we're like, oh, I want to talk to this person. Yeah. But we don't, number one, think about them as a human outside of our own agenda, outside of our own desires. Going back to the objectification, and we're not curious. And we don't tap into our desires. And what that feels like is really tapping into your body and asking yourself, what do I actually want to know? Like, what matters to me? We get stuck in the repetition of questions that you ask. Where are you from? What do you do for work? Right? What are you up to today? Because it's like the polite or the nice thing to say. And we think that's connection. It's simply just a convenience of words. We don't even know why we're saying them. I'll ask clients all the time, like, why did you ask him that? Yeah. Well, I just feel like that's how you get to know people. I'm like, no, let's tap into the desire. What do you actually want to know?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what he does for work? Or do you want to learn more about his value system and how he shows up at work? And who he admires at work? And what does he learn from work? Do you want to get into those depths?
Yeah.
And then curiosity. when he answers the questions, do you actually care? Or are you trying to get to a goal of a phone call, a goal of a date, a goal of a relationship? And so many people have an agenda to get to those goals. They're actually not curious about what the person is actually saying. And so it sounds like an interview. It's just a bunch of words and there's no connection, which is why we spend hours texting, days texting, weeks on the phone. And then we're wondering, how did this fizzle out? And I'm a proponent that conversations don't fizzle out. We end them. If they fizzle out, it's because we have not created connection. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And what are some ways, because I got a question here of, so you're on the apps and right, you're having some of those dry conversations. It feels like maybe the other person is only reciprocating. They're not necessarily asking you questions back. And so how can you, like the question is around sort of maybe lover girl limits come into play, maybe some of just what your energetic boundaries are here too, of how to know when to like keep going with the conversation versus it's like, okay, this other person, you know what, I got to move on. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll talk personally about my lover girl limits.
Okay.
Like for me, I have an anchor question. That anchor question is the same question I'll ask every single man when I go on the apps. And it's simply like, what besides me would put a smile on your face today? And now it seems very simple, but it reveals to me a lot the way he answers it. Does he answer it and say in a lazy way? And say something like, oh, nothing but you put a smile on my face. And I'm like, well, I only want to interact with men who have many things to smile about. If I'm the only one that put a smile on your face, then I'm actually not interested. That's my limit. Or if you go into fantasy and you're like, oh, you're the only one that I would love to put a smile on my face. That's a lover girl limit for me. I'm not here to go into fantasy with you. Or if you're like, oh, nothing put a smile on my face. It was a hard week. The negativity after I'm trying to connect with you on the apps, that's my limit. I don't go past that. And I don't just unmatch. I let them know this is why I'm unavailable for this conversation. I'm like, hey, I only date men who have lots of things to smile about. Or, hey, I pegged you for a man and would have a more thoughtful response. We're not a match. And I will just let it know because that's what I want to sow into the world. I want to let men know how they're showing up on the apps. That's my contribution. And my next level girl limit is if I ask 2 questions to you, and you do not ask me anything engaging, I'm done. It's just 2. And I'm not drained and I move on to the next thing. Yeah.
I love that 2-question approach is so good. And I love that you shared your opener here. Besides me, what put a smile on your face today? Not only, I love that one. Is it flirty and fun? I think you right away go into this place of play and pleasure too. And it's like, and you get to, I think it's such a good strategy to have one question. Like you ain't got to reinvent the wheel every single time, especially you're making perhaps, multiple matches throughout the week, having multiple conversations. Let's keep it simple. Yeah.
I copy and paste most of my conversations. Yeah.
Yeah. I think good strategy. So good. And I got a question here. So this flirty, and it's going to be about kind of going back to meeting people a little bit. And this person says they work from home. They spend a lot of time at home on the computer, right? A little, kind of building some confidence, but it's not at the high levels yet. All good. So some strategies maybe on the apps or places they could go to meet some potential matches.
So they are open to meeting them online or offline?
Yes.
Okay, so me as a heavy introvert who works from home and really prefers my couch over anything outside. I go on regular dates throughout the week and I'm consistently meeting people. And I do it 2 ways. I do it online and offline. Number 1, online dating, your it will be so much easier for you if you allow your profile to do 80% of the work. That means that you have to really put a ton of effort into your profile as if you are looking for your dream job, right? And
Okay.
if you front load all your effort into your profile, you won't even have to swipe that often because you'll have the men, the women lighten you up ahead of time. You can just go into your app and just choose from the pickings of people who have already liked you because your profile is so amazing. And that's helpful for me as an introvert of not having to do this on a daily basis. I just go in whenever I feel like I want to go on a date. I go in, I see who's a good match for me, and then I'm able to connect. And then I'm only going to spend time 2 questions, 2 or 3, and then I'm getting off the app for a video call. 15-minute tops. 15-minute video call. If I think that we like each other, I'm going to invite you to invite me on a date from there. So that's if you want to do the online thing. So really focus on putting your foot into your profile. And then I go work outside of the home twice a week at a coffee shop, like a very nice coffee shop in a nice area of town where there's traffic. And I get asked out on dates there. I have men buying me coffee there. I have men sitting beside me there wanting to get to know me just because I'm able to say, hey, is someone sitting next to you? Can I sit next to you? Or when I walk, I'm smiling and waving at everybody in the coffee shop. So people feel very comfortable wanting to get to know me and talk to me. And then I get to be asked out without putting in effort. It's just integrated in my presence, my pleasure, and my being in the present moment from being outside.
So good, because I'm an introvert as well. I do love my couch time. But it's like, and I think that you got it, finding that strategy, those lover girl limits, perhaps around your time and energy. And so 2 times a week, going out to work in the coffee shops and headphones out, saying hello. Hey, is someone sitting next to you? May I sit here? Kind of thing. And that alone could be the way to strike up a conversation.
Oh yeah. I got a date from that. 2 weeks ago. Like, hey, can I sit next to you? He's like, you're amazing. I'm like, what did I do?
I want to ask, I haven't asked this one, a little bit about body language and just sort of being in this space of receiving, if that's part of it, right? So headphones out, you're making eye contact. Yeah, some strategies to just kind of be open to receiving, perhaps. Yeah. From your perspective.
Oh, yeah. Your body language will easily fall into place when you come into the present moment.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is dropping into your body. What does it smell like around you? What is it? If you can taste things, what does it taste like? What does it look like? What are you hearing? What are you touching? That is going to relax your muscles. That is going to open your chest because you are open to the elements at this point. You are not in your brain. The reason why people say, oh, I got resting bitch face, I can't help it. I'm like, you don't have resting bitch face.
Right.
You just are in your brain thinking about things.
Yes.
Whenever I'm recording content, the only time I have like a frown is when I'm thinking about what to say in the content or thinking about like, what am I going to do next or what I'm going to write? And I look at the camera, I'm like, oh, I was thinking too hard. That is when you have resting bitch face. But if you drop into your body and feel into your 5 senses, then you won't have to worry about that because your body naturally relaxes itself. It naturally opens. It naturally becomes receptive when you think. And you're thinking about the past, the future, what people are thinking about you, then you close up, you get tense. And that is how people look at you and think, oh, she's not approachable.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad you mentioned that because I have also I haven't bought into the whole resting bitch face thing. It's like, I think, you're thinking, so you're frowning, right? Your eyes are so like, you've just kind of got that thinking face on, or it could just be something super simple of just dropping the shoulders a little bit, just taking a moment to just relax a little bit and putting the slightest smile on your face, just a little bit of a grin, opening up your eyes, and smiling alone is such a great conversation starter. You don't have to say anything.
No, my dangerous I don't want to say, what is it, collaboration or combination? Combination is the smile and wave.
Yes.
It's the dangerous combination. The smile gets people open and warm to you, and the wave gets people running up to you.
Yeah. I notice this all the time at my good old shifts at Trader Joe's. We call them a front door helms. So someone standing at the front door, we do 30-minute shifts up there, and I love doing a front door helms. I try and get one every shift, and I do this. It's just about making eye contact, maybe a quick wave, but certainly a smile, just saying hello and seeing how so many times that completely changes somebody's energy altogether. Their expression changes. Maybe they were coming in, looking down, head down, shoulders hunched a little bit, right? Stressed, busy day, whatever, something on their mind, a smile, a wave, hello, just very, very simple. And more often than not, they completely light up. It just instantly changes the energy. And maybe that's my contribution. And why can't that be enough sometimes?
That's what I was about to say. That's your contribution.
Yeah.
Because when you did that, you caused a ripple effect in the universe. And it affected that next person who was going to come in frowning or was lower, but now their energy has been raised. So they're going to interact with somebody else with raised frequency, which is going to make the other person have a raised frequency. So you create this whole ripple effect that eventually just comes back.
I love it. The BFE, big flirt energy, as I describe it sometimes, because that's how I oftentimes talk about the flirt too. It's raising your frequency, your vibration in real time. It's this experience of energy, of vibration. It's as you start to vibrate out of those lower registers of anger, fear, resentment, guilt, shame, sadness, despair, which we're all going to be there sometimes for sure, but then you creep up and now we're experiencing some gratitude, some appreciation, some curiosity, right? That's what I think about the flirt as well. It can also be this experience of just, sometimes I talk about it as not just the genuine expression of interest, but an act of service. I love that it can be that too. Yeah.
Because you're right. It is an act of service. We look at this like, what can I get? What can I get? Yeah. But we really are servicing. We are providing a service. So even if we're not getting romantic relationships out of it, we are contributing to society. It's way bigger than romance for me.
Yes. Same. Yeah. A customer walking in, I'm not, hey, what's your number? Like, what's your Instagram or whatever? Oh, that would be, oh my God, I get fired probably. Yeah. And also I know they're not, they're shopping for some groceries. They need to get some pasta and make spaghetti later for dinner. They're not here to for the crew member to be like, hey, what's up? But if I can express just some gratitude, some appreciation, share some energy, make that contribution, I'm good. Like that's part of what I'm here to do. And I hope, to just help people feel supported to do the same thing. I think we're doing that with this episode today.
Oh, absolutely. Because I got the tingles all in my body. I'm feeling very nice.
All right. I've got just a couple more questions. As I alluded at the start of the interview, some kind of dating tips, strategy. I think we've talked about a lot of that today. But getting to that first date, even moving beyond the first date. So we're here, we're on the apps, we're meeting people in real life. How to kind of now play in that space of dating.
Flirtation while we're already dating. Am I understanding you correctly? Oh, yeah. One of the big things that I always tell my clients is there needs to be an intention for the communication that you go into with people that you're dating. Okay. We typically want to reach out because we want to feel a connection, because we want to make sure things progress. We want to make things happen. And we have these dry ass conversations that don't go anywhere because we think words connect. And really our frequencies are connecting. And we just have to decide to be connected, even if we don't speak to them every day. Even if it's not every other day, we have to decide to be connected. And then when we're ready to talk, we set a clear intention. Let's just say you get a text message from the person first. Okay. we have to decide, like, what do I want in this experience? He said, how am I doing? Do I actually want to respond exactly what I'm doing? Or do I want to put a little pleasure on top of that? Do I want to paint a picture? So if he's saying, how am I doing? And I could say, oh, I'm feeling really beautiful. I just got done, trying on a new dress that I bought from Shein, right? And it just, I'm twirling in circles. It just makes me feel beautiful. Or, I'm sipping my tea, I'm reading my book, and I feel very relaxed. I have my feet rubbing across each other. It just feels very nice right here. I would love for you to call me so we can talk more, about what I'm reading. It's about having intention about what you want to create versus letting the person who is reaching out dictate the tone and dictate what's happening. What do you want to contribute? What do you want to create? And even if you're the first person to reach out and you want to form a connection, what is the intent of this connection? Do you want to bring excitement? Do you want witty banter? Do you want flirtation? Are you curious about something that you want to know more about that person? But you have to have the intention in order for it to maintain the fun, the excitement, the enjoyment, and decide to be connected, even if things are not going your way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you talked about the intention piece here, because it really is about, yes, intention, and then tying it back to what you want to create versus necessarily what you want. I think you talked a moment ago about how oftentimes our connections are transactional. And I see this in the flirt too. It's what can I get from this person, or what can I do for them? It becomes about these roles you play. It becomes about a transaction. And then that's not a connection.
And then with my ladies who have heavily, like in religion, subscribing to rules, it's like man leads, woman follows.
Yes.
So there's no creation on her part. She's just letting the man just do all the work, and then she's just responding. And even if a man responds, or a man is messaging or calling, they feel obligated to like pick up the phone and text. So they're feeling kind of anxious or overwhelmed because they're like, I don't want him to think I'm not interested. I don't want him to think that I don't want to be with him. I don't want him to think that I'm being rude. You can't form a connection when you're in like a freeze or fawn state. And so one of the things I teach my clients is creating a ready response. And a ready response is a response that literally expresses a boundary while extending connection at the same time. And just letting an individual know, reassuring them, like it reassures them. It lets them know, like, I do want to connect with you, just not now. And I want to give you my undivided attention at another time.
I love that as well. So many good takeaways and insights. And I really just have, I think, one more question, and it's about staying on this topic of dating strategy, of being in that space of creation, building confidence, I think managing anxiety. So I'm wrapping a lot up here into this question, but it's sort of one final parting gift to the flirties, words of wisdom, just about how to really be in that space of pleasure if you're feeling anxiety, right? If you are fearing rejection, just how to be with it.
Yes. The one thing that I always teach my clients is, number one, not to make it a problem. When we experience those feelings of anxiety or being rejected, we make that a problem. Like, I shouldn't be feeling anxiety. I shouldn't be feeling fear of rejection, and not understanding that we're human and we have desires and we have fears, and it's absolutely okay to feel it. And we shouldn't want to think that I shouldn't be feeling it. And instead of resisting it, lean into it. Lean into the anxiety, lean into the fear, and then allow your body to process it. Whatever you resist is going to persist. If you judge it, if you shame it, if you think something is wrong with it, it's going to perpetuate in your body and you're going to keep feeling it. But if you surrender to the feeling and say, I have anxiety. I remember there was a guy who unmatched me one time. I was really excited about him, really wanting to talk to him. And we had this really great FaceTime conversation, and he unmatched me.
Mm.
And immediately my body was like, oh, in my chest. And I was like, wow, you have anxiety. Like you didn't want to be rejected here. It hurts, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just sit here and let's process it out. It like bothers you. Tell me why it bothers you. Like I'm like talking to the feeling.
Yep.
It's like, oh, it bothers you because you liked him. It bothers you because it brought up some feelings of I'm not enough or I didn't do the right thing. It brought up the good girl in you that wants to get the questions right and to reach the checkbox. And that's okay. It's none of that's true. Yeah. And just sit with it and let it dissolve and then decide, okay, how am I going to take care of myself now that I have processed these emotions? Versus I have the emotions, they're stuck with me and I just gonna have them. I don't make it a problem. And the more you're able to be with your emotions and decide how you're gonna feel ahead of time, I already know I'm ready to feel jealous. I'm ready to feel hurt. I'm ready to feel disappointment. I'm already prepared. I'm ready to feel it. And I'm deciding that I'm going to process it ahead of time and I do not make it a problem. And I process it and I do it again and again and again. So I have a high tolerance for it.
That was beautiful. I know that's going to help the flirties so much. I think that'll be a part of the conversation. I know I'm going to come back to again. And I think the only thing I'll say here is I'm seeing some parallels between how sometimes I teach yoga, where I very much see yoga as a practice of being rather than doing. I just ask people to be with their practice, to accept it for what it is, to move and to breathe through it, to not wish it to be something different, to will it to be something different, to compare it to what you did last week, to what someone else in the room is doing, but to be with it, to receive what's coming, what's happening, accept it. It's not wrong. It just is. And allow yourself to be. And when you can be, you then don't always have to do. Sometimes it's just about being. Right?
That's it.
Yeah.
And back to what you were saying about us forming a connection with ourselves. It just goes back to that. Many times we have a hard time connecting and flirting with other people is because we have not connected with ourselves. And so leaning into all the insecurities that come up within us, just leaning into it, it provides more intimacy with who we are. But if we're going to resist it all, if we're going to try to do out like you doing like the yoga and trying to force ourselves into a position that we're not ready for, and just instead of just being, we don't form an intimacy that we're supposed to be forming with ourselves.
You're so right. Oh my gosh, Torah Cents, thank you so much for being a part of the show today and sharing this conversation with me and the flirties. Only other thing is where you live on the internet, how the flirties can work with you, listen to your podcast, please.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, flirties, for everything. Thank you for that. And thank you, Benjamin, for having me. It's been a pleasure, but you can find me. I mainly live on Instagram. I'm on all platforms at Torah Cents. But if you want like a real piece of me, that's going to be on Instagram at Torah Cents, TorahCents. You can find my podcast on Spotify, on Stitcher, on Apple Tunes, whatever we're going to call that. And it's called Date with Cents, but Cents as in 2 cents, CENTS. And you can catch my episodes over there. And currently, I'm open for private one-to-one coaching if that is something that you are interested in. And you can find that information at either the show notes or the link in my bio on Instagram.
Perfect. And I will make sure and have everything linked. Highly, highly recommend following, checking out the podcast. And if you're being called to seek some guidance here, working with Torah, my goodness, thank you so much for being a part of the show today.
Thank you.
All right, Flirties, that's a wrap on this episode of Flirtations, the fall flashback episode, all about dating deliciously. Thank you so much to Torah Cents for being a part of this special series and a part of the original conversation. Of course, to follow Torah and learn more about her work, check out some links in the show notes below for this episode. Torah, thank you so much for being a part of the Flirtations community. And thank you to the Flirties for being a part of this episode as well, for listening, for tuning in, for streaming, wherever you may be in the world. Please rate, review, subscribe to the show if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much. Your support means the world to me. Share this episode or another favorite episode of the show with someone you want to share some BFE, big flirt energy with. All right, that's going to do it for me, Benjamin, the flirt coach, and Gay Libra here at Flirt Headquarters, signing off officially. Flirty. Happy flirting.